All right, let's begin with the session. Guys, am I audible? Can you all hear me? Okay, great. Thank you. So we'll start with the quiz as usual, and then we will move on into the topic for the day. Yeah, everyone, I've shared the link for the quiz on the chat. Please take this quiz. I'll give you all 5 minutes. By 8:37, we'll be discussing the answers. So once you have taken the quiz, you can let me know. You guys have another 3 more minutes. Guys, you have another minute more. Make sure you have taken the quiz. All right, I think let's discuss the answers. I hope you all have completed the quiz. Okay, let's discuss this one by one. All right. So this is my screen. Let's go with the first one. So if you see, how can you allow users to select multiple values in a slicer? So how is this possible? How can you allow users to select multiple values? Option C, right? There is this option of select all, or they can also use control key. When they have control key, they can select multiple values. So this is how multiple values could be selected in a slicer. In Power BI, what is the primary purpose of table view in the data pane? Yeah, what is the primary purpose of table view? To view data, to view raw data from loaded data set. So as I have said in the first class, you don't need to open the Excel every time. If you have loaded any Excel into Power BI, you don't need to open the Excel every time. You can just look at the table view. What is the difference between a table visual and a table view in Power BI? Option A. Table visual shows summarized data while table view shows raw data. The bar chart what you have can be converted into a table visual. But that is a summarized format. Whereas if you want to see the raw data, you'll be using the table view. Or you want to see the original data, you'll be looking at the table view. Which of the following is true about using a top N filter? Yeah, it's option B, which is it requires a measure to determine ranking. If you want to get the top N, you should actually be having a measure. Right? Only when a measure is available, the top N filter could be activated. If you want to filter data dynamically based on user selection, which Power BI feature should you use? Slicer. Right? Slicer is nothing but an interactive filter which will allow you to select the data dynamically. What we did yesterday is we applied a slicer, and when you selected the value, the filters or the charts got changed. So this is how you can apply slicer. I'll also explain about slicer in today's session. I'll give you a small recap, maybe not initially, but as we move on, when I get a chance, I'll definitely give you a recap about the slicer topic. Okay, everyone, please open Power BI, open a new report. Yesterday, I told you that I'll be teaching you maps. For some, it worked, for some, it didn't work. So I'll give you this idea of maps today. Please load the COVID data. You would be having COVID data, what I shared yesterday. Please load that into Power BI. And if you don't have, I'm sharing the link. A lot of you would have downloaded yesterday. If you have downloaded, just load it in Power BI. I'll give you all 1 more minute. Yeah, if you have done, great. Please let me know. If not, please go to this link, download the COVID data and load it inside a blank report of Power BI. Yeah, others, have you loaded the data, COVID data? Perfect. Now, as I told you, when you need to create a map chart in Power BI, you need a location data. So when I open my sheet one, you can see this name of the state, or let me show you the data only. See this name of the state, what you see on the left side, these are all location data, right? And then we have a few numerical data. So I'll be creating a map chart based on the active cases. So I can select this name of the state and I'll be selecting active cases. Now what happens is in some cases, the map would be enabled by default, right? You can see the map enabled by default like this, or you can also go ahead with this filled map, right? They are almost the same. It is just, something like this. And if you want different colors, what you can do is you can drag this name of the state and drop it on legend. However, a lot of you would not be able to see this map. So I'll tell you what to do. If you're not seeing this map, you can go to File, Options and Settings, Options. So give it a minute. Here, so go to File, Options and Settings, Options. And here you have something called as a global setting security. Yeah, right? You have an option called as security. Now under security, all you need to do is just select this map and filled map visual. See, for me, it is checked already. For a lot of you, it would not be. By default, Power BI disables this option. So all you need to do is just enable this. If you enable this, use map and map visual, you will be able to create the chart. I'll repeat this once again. Go to File, Options and Settings, Options. And once your options tab is enabled, you can go to security and enable this use map. So you see this option called as use map and filled map. Just enable this or tick this and you can give OK. Once you do it, you will be having the active cases and name of the state. You can go with this. See, there are two kinds of map and filled map. When you go to map, it will just be like circles. It will not be filled. When you go to a filled map, what happens is it will be a filled data, right? The entire data would be filled. Now, a good thing here is once you have this chart, you can take this name of the state. See, here you will be seeing under build visual, you'll be seeing something called as legend. Under this legend, you can drop the name of the state. Now, this will give a different color for different states. So any state you hover your mouse, you will be able to see the active cases at that particular point. Are you all clear on this? Guys, are you clear with the map concept? Okay, even after enabling, what do you get? Do you get any option? Okay, even after enabling, if map is not coming, can you do me a favor? Just close Power BI, open it again and try it. Okay, I think it's not selected yet. What you do is make sure that is selected. You should go here, File, Options and Settings, Option, Security, and you can click on Map Visual. What you do is after this, close Power BI and open it again. Save it if you want, close Power BI, open it again, load the data and try this. I'll give you all 2-3 minutes. Try this, everyone. For some of you, it could be working automatically. For some of you, you might need to restart your Power BI. Guys, I assume after selecting map and filled map, you have given OK. Only when you give OK, it will get changed. Right? It's not that you should close it automatically. So make sure you have given OK and try this. I'll give you some time. It's 8:47 now. We'll move on to the next concept by 8:50. Till that, make sure you are able to create this map. And if your map is visible, please let me know. I can see a few people are saying yes. Okay, great. Others also please try this. So this is a universal troubleshooting method. Anything doesn't work in tech, you just restart it. Your mobile, your watch, your systems, server, anything that doesn't work, all you need to do is just close and open. Most of the times it will work. So if you want to color all states, see under this build visual, you see something called as legend. Just drag this name of the state and drop it in legend. If you do that, the states would be colored. Which one you can't open? Just select this chart. You select this chart under build visual, you will be able to see this legend. All right. I hope you guys are now clear on how to create map. For some of you, if it is not working, if it is not visible, don't worry. You can try that later. But this is the steps, right? As I said, file, options and settings, options, security, and just enable use map and filled map. After that, you can easily work on creating maps. But make sure you close and open it once. All right, now we will move on and we will how to color. Okay, one thing, if it is bubbled, you might have selected this. You might have selected map. Here on this option, you have something called as filled map. You should select filled map. And in filled map, you will be only getting blue. Initially, you will all be getting only blue. So you see this legend option under legend, add data field here, drag this name of the state and drop it on legend. Once you do it, the colors would be there automatically. Okay, great. I hope you are all clear on this. Now, what we would do is we will be looking at one important concept that comes on the intermediate level of Power BI, which is DAX. I'm going to explain to you what is DAX. So have a look. So there is this concept of DAX in Microsoft Power BI. Now, DAX also has a lot of potential interview questions. If you sit for an interview on Power BI, a lot of your interview questions could be based on DAX. And it's more of a logic. It's more of writing formulas, right? Whatever we have done till now, we have not written any formulas. All we did is we just dragged and dropped the values. But here we will be moving on and we will be working with DAX. I'll tell you what is DAX. The full form of DAX is data analysis expressions or data analysis expression. So some of you might be asking why is DAX and not DAE? I don't know. The person who created might be loving X and they had kept it as data analysis expression. But this is the full form of DAX, data analysis expression. Some people might say DAX expression. That's like saying ATM machine or ECR road. But DAX full form is data analysis expression, and it's not DAX expression. So data analysis expression. In data analysis expression, what we will do is this is the technique of creating new columns in Power BI, or I will say new information. I'll not say column, I'll say new information in Power BI with existing information. So this is the technique of creating new information in Power BI with existing information. And I'll tell you what is this, what is the concept of DAX. It's very simple as what we do on a Excel. So I'll open a blank Excel and let it get opened. But in the meantime, if you think about it, see, sometimes you might have data, but that might not be enough. Whatever data that you have, that might not be enough. Sometimes you need some additional information. And that additional information is something that you will be calculating. Right? See, since this is time of IPL, let me take a small cricket example. Let's assume we have batsmen, matches played, and runs scored. Right? Let's take any random batsman, and they have played 26 matches. They have scored around 944 runs. Just a random data that I'm taking. Right now on this, no, you guys don't need to make this. Just have a look. Just listen. You don't need to make this. See, the batsman name is X. They have played 26 matches and the runs they have scored is 944. Now, what happens is, see, you might be working for a sports company, right? And trust me, I mean, a lot of you might know there are a lot of sports analysts out there. Do you guys know? Every sport has people who are into data. Every team, they will have their own analyst. Are you guys aware of this in sports? Yeah. So, and it's not just for cricket. See, I know cricket, so I'm talking with that example, but every sport that you see will have analyst. So if you are someone who is into sports, you might also be looking at this field. You might also be looking at, becoming a sports analyst. But very simple. Let's talk about this. I want to know the average of this player or average of every player, right? There could be multiple players. Let's say Y has played some 135 matches and they have scored this much runs, right? I want to know the average of each player. With the given data, is it possible for me to calculate the average? Average, okay. When I say average, average run rate. Or just, I'll just call it as average. Is it possible for me to get the average of the players? By using any logic or by using any mathematical formula? How? If you say yes, then can you tell me how? And it's okay if you're wrong, but just take a guess. Based on the given data, how can we calculate the average of the player? And if you don't know cricket, you might not be able to answer this. That's okay. Fairly simple mathematics. It's runs scored divided by matches played. Abdul is exactly correct. Average is nothing but runs scored divided by number of matches that they have played. So you can see this batsman has an average of 36. And the second batsman has an average of 72, which is actually great. Now, this average is actually a value that we didn't have. But we used some logic or we used some mathematical formula to derive this new information. When you do things like this in Power BI, you will be doing it with DAX. So you had initial columns with you or initial information. With this initial information, you were able to get the new information. And if you're doing it in Power BI, you will be using the data analysis expressions. I'll tell you how to do this, but are you clear what is DAX, everyone? Perfect. So we have this using some logics or mathematical functions, mathematical operations. Now we can create three types of DAX in Power BI. Now we can create three types of DAX in Power BI. One is new measure. Second one is new column. And the third one is new table. So we can calculate a new measure, we can calculate a new column, and we can calculate a new table. What I'll do is, in this new table is something that we will not be seeing in today's session. Tomorrow, if possible, we'll be looking at it. New measure and new column is something that we will be trying. Now, you might be confused. What is a new measure? What is a new column? And what is a new table? Now, let's take this. I'll just add another data. Okay, some random data that we have. Now, I want to know this total matches played. I want to know the total matches played by all players, right? Or okay, let's ignore this cricket example because we have already seen one cricket example. Let's take this. Employee, age of employee, salary of employee, department, which department they are from. Let's have some employees. Let's have some age for them. Let's have some salary. And let's put them in some department, HR, legal, HR, and analytics. So this is the data. Now in this data, from this data, I want to calculate the average age of all employees. Right? See, we can calculate the average age of all employees. Here, I'm telling in Excel, we can do it like this. Right? You can use the average function. You'll just use the data. You will be getting the average age. This is what you call as a new measure. So a new measure means a single number that you are calculating. Now, if needed, we can also count number of employees. So there are 4 employees here, and that 4 is a single number. So when you are creating a single number through some calculation, that number is called as a new measure. Right? Are you guys clear with what is a new measure? It's nothing but based on some calculation, you get one number. See, I'm not creating a new column and all. All I'm doing is I'm doing some calculation and I'm able to get a single number. Everyone, are you clear on this? What is a new measure? Okay, if you are confused, see, I'll tell you, this is existing information. Let's assume this is our data. From this data, I'm calculating average age. Average age is one number. Number of employees is a single number. Like this, when I do something and I end up with a single number, it's called as a new measure. For example, number of students in this class. If I want to know the number of students in this class, that would be a single number. Right? And number of, the age of this class, the average age of this class. If you guys are earning the average salary of this class, the total marks that you guys have scored. See, everything that will be ending up as a single number. So when you have a single number, that's called as a new measure. Is this making sense? Taking info out of existing data, yes, but that info will be a number, a number, a single number. That is what you call as a measure. Now, it could be any digit. It could be a 3-digit. It could be a 5-digit. Digits doesn't matter, but I'm saying it's a number. This is new measure. So I'll write new measure is nothing but output will be a number. Okay, when I say single number, see this, don't think of it as one or two numbers. See, this is a number. So don't, okay, I might have confused. I'll say output is a number. It's not a single number, right? Don't worry about single. Output is a number. See here, this output is a number. This is one number. Like this, you can have any other number. From our data, we need to know the total sales of customer. Total sales is a number. Like that, if you calculate number, it means measure. Making sense? Creating a new number. Creating a new number. Let's talk about new column. New column is what we did here. See, we had 3 columns. From our 3 columns, we created a 4th column. Now that new column can be number, the new column can be text, that doesn't matter. But initially my data had 3 columns. I used some logic and I created a 4th column. So when you create a new column, it's this second type of measure, which is called as a new column. Creating a new column. So your data might have 10 columns. You might create 2 new columns. Your data might have 15 columns. You might create 1 more column. Right? That is your new column. Clear on this? So I assume now you are clear on new measure. Now you are clear on new column. Let's talk about new table. This entire data, I told you this on the first day. In Power BI, your entire data is called as a table. So let's do a small change here. This is my old table. Or I'll, instead of old, I'll just call this as current table. This is my current table. From this table, I can create a new table, another table, and this is my new table. Now, what will happen is in my new table, I will have data of only HR department. So I'll copy this, I'll put it here. I'll copy this, I'll put it here. See, now I have 2 tables. One is my current table and the other one is my new table. A new table will have data only from HR department. So if you are filtering the data and you are getting a new data or a completely new table, that is the third kind of DAX. I'm not just adding any column. What I'm doing is from my original table, I am taking a subset. I'm taking a subset of my values. This is the new table. Are you all clear? Guys, are you now clear with the difference between a new measure, a new column, and a new table? Some of you might be confused. Don't worry. When we do these things, it will be making sense. But keep in mind, whenever you're creating a DAX, you would be the one to decide. Should you go with the new measure, a new column, or a new table? Right? You should make that decision. In fact, I'll show you. See, if I decide to create a DAX, here you can see under modeling, you have DAX. New measure, don't think about quick measure, that is a different one. But new measure, new column, and new table, all these 3 are available. And according to your problem statement, you should use this new measure, column, or table properly. Now let's try something on this data only. We will use the new measure, and initially let's work with the new measure. So I'll give you a question and let's all try working on this question. Using DAX, find the total number of people affected by COVID in India. So using DAX, we will be able to identify the total number of people affected by COVID. Now, maybe think logically and tell me, I want to know the number of people affected by COVID in India. So will it be a new measure, a new column, or a new table? Now that you guys know what is a measure, column, and a table, I need to know the total number of people affected by COVID. Okay, Abdul says new measure. How about others? Yes, it is new measure because that's a number. The total people who are affected will be a number. It could be 8 million, it could be 40 million, it could be 20 million, anything. But that is a number. So here, total number of people. Okay, I'll probably make this question as total number of active cases. Instead of affected, I'll say total number of active cases. Active cases of COVID in India. I've just edited it. That is also a new measure only. Now let's see how we can do it. So I'll click on new measure. So here you can see that you click on new measure. The minute you click, you will be getting a small box here. Right? You can see it's loading. I have not got the box yet. I'll show you. Click on modeling, go to modeling and click on new measure, and you will be having a box where it says measure equal to. Right? You will be having this measure equal to. So I'll repeat once again, go to modeling, click on new measure. When you click on new measure, you will be seeing this measure equal to. So this is where you will be writing. In fact, this measure equal to is also something that you can delete. This box where you see this one, this is where you will be writing the command. So here, let's try entering. Okay, 1 minute. Let's try entering the formula. See, measure equal to is the name. You can actually name it anything. I'll be calling this as active cases, or I'll call this as total active cases equal to. You can give any name. Since active case is already a name of a column, I don't want it to be confusing. So I gave total active cases equal to the formula. To get total active cases, we need to add. For every state, we have the active case. You need to add everything. For adding, the formula is nothing but sum. Just like Excel, you have the sum here. So you have sum, and the minute you type sum, you will actually be getting the different columns in your data. In this, you can select this active cases and you can close the bracket. So you can just give tick. See, I'll repeat what I've done. Don't worry. See, I have total active cases, but for time being, let me just delete. Have a look. I'll show this to you again. Guys, everyone, please have a look. You should be selecting this option of modeling. You have this option of modeling on top. And under modeling, you have new measure. You can give the name for your measure. I will be naming this as total active cases equal to. You can give any value here. I will say sum, SUM, sum of. You can type the column name, automatically it will appear. If you type ACTIV, active cases will automatically be appearing. So you can select this sheet 1 active cases and you can close. So sheet 1 should always be there. That is the name of the table. So it's better, instead of typing, just select. You don't need to type, just put some active and you have this, just select this and close the bracket. Now this is your total active cases. You can give a tick on this. Please try this, everyone. Okay, before you try, guys, are you all clear with the new measure? How to create this new measure? Are you clear? Okay, please try this, everyone. If you're clear on this, please try creating this measure. Today we'll focus only on measure. Tomorrow we'll be focusing on new column also. Okay, if it is gone, you can try again. You can go to modeling and you can once again click on new measure. I'll show you the output, Krishna. Don't worry. I'm yet to show the output. Before that, please work on this. Guys, if you have done this, you can click on this tick. There will be a green color tick, or you can also press enter. Let me know once you have this total active cases on the right side. Under your sheet 1, let me know once you have this total active cases. Yeah, so if it might be having the same name, just give a different name. If you're getting this error, total active case is already used in a measure. So you might have created it. Just change this total active cases 1 or total active cases 2. If you ever get this rename measure, you can rename the name. Only the name needs to be changed. After this, what you can do is see under the sheet 1, you will be having this total active cases. Tick this, select this. It will be created as a bar chart, but I don't need bar chart. So a better way to represent measure, always a good way to represent measures on your Power BI is by using card. So above this R, you have something called as card. You can click on card and here you can see 136K, which is 1,36,000 active cases. So select this total active case and click on this card. What you find above this R here. Try this, everyone. Just select this under sheet 1. You will be having this total active case. Select this. And here you will be having the card. Under visualization, you will be having this. You can select on. Have you all done this? Okay. How about others? Yeah, for that only you should be selecting this card option. Click on this. It will be a bar chart. You click on card. It will be made as a card. Okay, perfect. Okay, guys, if you are clear on this, using DAX, get the average deaths. Try this, everyone. Using DAX, get the average death. So create another measure here, but this time instead of sum, you will be using average. Everyone, please try this. Create it as a card. I'll give you 3 minutes. By 9:20, I'll also be doing this. total active cases equal to sum of active case. This one. I'm showing the formula here on the top. You can see this. Okay, Karthikeyan says 12.87. Let's see, others are also getting the same value. Everyone, please try this. Use DAX to get the average deaths. Okay. Okay, how about others? Anyone has done it? You have 1 more minute. A lot of you are getting 12.87. Anu, Mohit, Krishna. Okay, people who are confused, I'll do this. Have a look. So I'll once again go to modeling. I'll be clicking on new measure. This time I'll be naming the measure as average deaths. You can name this anything. I'll just say average deaths equal to, I'll be using this average and I'll be using this deaths. So this is the formula. You should be using the average function and you should be using the deaths column. You can give tick. You can select this average deaths, make it as a card. Right. So I'm also getting 12.87. If you have not done, please do this. I'll give you a minute. This is the formula, average deaths. And one more question, I'll be giving it to you. Find the number of states or union territories. Using DAX, find the number of states that we have or number of states and union territories that we have. So Shivasri, what I've done is modeling, new measure, and once you click on new measure, this is what you should write. You can give average deaths equal to average of deaths. If you have done it, you can let me know. Find the number of states or union territories. Use some logic, but I'll give you a hint. Here, you will not be using sum, you will not be using average also. How is something that you can figure out? I'll give you time till 9:25, then I'll be doing this. To use the card, just select this and you can click on card. You can see above R. So first select any value that you want and then you can click on this card option. Rogan says 36. Okay, let's see. I hope you are doing it with DAX, Rogan. You're not counting it manually or you're not looking at it. Okay, so people are sending me answers 36. Guys, you have another 2 more minutes and then I'll be solving this. Okay, a lot of people are doing it. You might have figured out the logic. Okay, I'll be doing this. Have a look. But can someone tell me what logic you guys use? It's very simple, count. But there is a small trick here, or a kind of a tricky situation. I'll just call this as states equal to. You can give any name. States equal to. See, you can use count, but I'll not be using count. In fact, what I'll be using is I'll be using distinct count. Right? A lot of you would have tried this count of name of the state or UT. You might have done this, but I'll not be going with count. I'll be using distinct count and I'll be choosing the name of state. And I'm going to explain to you the difference of distinct count and count. Still, we might be getting the same answer. I might also be getting 36, but it is important for you to understand the difference between count and distinct count. See, I'll also be having 36, right? Let's understand this. Now, imagine we have states. We have TN, we have KL, let's assume we have AP. We might also have TN. Let's say employee hometown. This is the employee's hometown, right? A, B, C, D. Now, how many hometowns we have in this data? How many hometowns we have in this data? Some people are saying 4, some people are saying 3. Let's understand this. See, when you use count, it will count this as 1, 2, 3, and 4. But when you use distinct count, see, I have TN, I have KL, I also have AP. Even though TN is repeating again, that doesn't mean it's a new hometown, or that doesn't mean it's a new city or a new state. It has already appeared. So we will not be counting the duplicate values. In the data, what we have, there is no duplicate value. It's all unique. But always keep in mind, whenever you want to identify number of customers, number of states, number of employees, or any count that you are doing, it is always good to use distinct count rather than count. Distinct count will give you the output of 3. Count will give you the output of 4. Clear with the difference? Perfect. So we have done DAX today. We have started with DAX. There is new column and new table that is there. We'll be doing that. Don't worry. Tomorrow we'll be taking examples of new column and new measure. We'll do it on the other data, the customer analysis data. We'll take some example. We'll create a new column. We'll create a new table and we can work on it. Any doubts on what we have covered today? Guys, are you all clear? I hope you DAX is making sense. Clear on this, everyone? Yes, distinct count, unique values, count will count all the values. All right. So with that, we come to the end of today's session. You can just do a control S, right? I'll share the recording link. I'll share the feedback link. Yeah. So if you want to save, you can do a control S. It'll ask you for a name. You can just give any name and you can save it, just like how you'll be saving in Excel. All right. So everyone, once again, I'm saying, please join the sessions on time. It is not just for attendance. Of course, attendance is a very important factor. But if you join late, you might miss on very important topics or you might miss on quiz. So make sure that you join the sessions on time. Right. So thank you. Thanks a lot, everyone, for joining. Have a good night and we'll be meeting tomorrow. Yeah. Thank you, guys.